Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Turning Heel podcast. Excuse me as I try to unmute Mike's mic. Mike, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm I'm doing fantastic, guys. Welcome to the show. Lots to get into. We're coming off the heels of the WWE draft, and don't you love that we do the whole draft, our whole mock draft, 2 weeks worth, under the old set of rules. And then I don't know that we were off the air 30 minutes when I got the alert about the new WWE draft rules, how champions were protected to their brand. And so it's like, so basically our whole first several picks were meaningless. And
Exactly.
I can't wait for Uncle Holiday to come back.
I can't either. I do want to talk about that. But I figure, with Backlash and everything else going, like WWE is going to take up most of our conversation. Let's get right into the Tony Khan situation in AEW. I almost called it WCW, but that would have been a Freudian slip, as they say. Boy, does this ever reek of Vince Russo and the days of him in WCW.
This is something. I don't know what it is, but it's something. It's either going to be great or it's going to be horrible.
What? The neck?
Yeah, the neck thing with Tony Khan. The fact that he took it to the NFL draft, I give him credit.
Dude, my man's living the gimmick.
The fact he put on a neck brace and they had the NFL draft, talk about the bump he took. The bump, in quotes.
Yeah.
That he took, because that was about the world's safest pile driver I think I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah. And look, I get it. The Young Bucks wanted to keep their boss safe. I actually don't blame them at all for that.
No, I don't either.
Today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega's coming back.
Correct.
Right.
So that should add a layer to this. Is he going to be the one who defends Tony with all this?
I would think that would make sense.
What are they going to do with this? Because
they took Jack Perry back.
Because it's either going to be, is he going to be like a Vince McMahon and be on TV a lot in a good way? Or is he going to turn into Herb Abrams and be an owner who's on TV a lot in a bad way? That's the question. I hope it's just one of those sporadic things.
Yeah, and look, you give him a spike pile driver, it takes him off TV for a while. Whenever he comes back, like maybe he puts together a team of guys who will defend him. Maybe Kenny Omega, maybe Hangman. You can come up with a couple other people who you would think would be just loyal to Tony Khan. That would just, maybe Sammy Guevara when he comes back.
Maybe.
Wait, he's injured?
I'm assuming he's injured because we just haven't seen him for.
Oh no, he got suspended.
Oh, for what?
The Jeff Hardy bump injury. They suspended him.
Injuries happen. You can't suspend somebody for getting somebody injured. I think that's ridiculous. Oh, but maybe storyline wise, he should side with the Young Bucks and
right. Yeah, who knows? It's just going to be one of these.
Do you think they did it? Suspended him for the Young Bucks?
My thing is,
no, I think they suspended him because he was unsafe, and
then like Shad Khan comes out to make a big deal, but a lot of people don't know who he is.
Yeah, who's that?
Tony Khan's dad.
He's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars,
right? And Fulham FC.
I thought Tony Khan was the judge of the Jaguars.
No.
Yeah.
He's the chief strategy officer of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
How do they own a?
They have a lot of money, so they own two football teams.
Which two?
The
Well, the
Jaguars, and then in England they own Fulham Football Club, I believe.
Football.
And then AEW.
Well,
Yeah.
that's a lot.
One day it'll be the London Jaguars, I think.
Yeah, I think you could be onto something with that.
Right.
Look, obviously they have a big show coming up, Double or Nothing. You would imagine somehow we're getting, maybe Kenny Omega with maybe FTR against the Young Bucks and Kazuchika Okada.
How about
I would
that?
assume that's happening at Double or Nothing. Yeah, something like that.
I think they're gonna do Jack Perry, also known as Jungle Boy, with the Young Bucks versus Kenny Omega. Maybe with some sort of twist. Sammy Guevara comes back with Chris Jericho. Something big's gonna happen there.
As far as I'm concerned, the angle's dead in the water to begin with. I think people are just kind of like, what was this? I've heard Jim Cornette and Dutch Mantel both go off on it this week.
Yeah.
I
do think there is a contingent of people who, no matter what AEW does, are going to just criticize them.
Right.
And I'm not even saying they don't deserve some of that.
Right.
Because I think with what they've done over the past couple of years, it's kind of reeked of that, early 2000 WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Kenny Omega could go with Eddie Kingston.
Right.
Sure.
Wait,
but it's going to be some group where it's Kenny Omega on one side, the Young Bucks, and whether it be Jack Perry or Kazuchika Okada.
Or it's going to be an 8-man tag.
Yeah.
I'm afraid this is going to play into Blood and Guts this year.
Oh, it 100% will.
I
can guarantee you it will.
Look,
they're going to do one of those Stampede matches or something before that, and then Blood and Guts.
I hope Kenny Omega teams up with the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn.
Well, maybe you'll get your wish. Who knows what they're going to do?
Young Bucks, Jack Perry, and Okada versus Kenny Omega, the Acclaimed, and
Billy Gunn.
Billy, yeah.
There you go. That would work. But again, it's one of those.
It's going to move my needle, but
it's not going to move many needles. It's like
it would move my needle.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you would be interested.
I love the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn.
I know you do.
And Kenny Omega.
Yes.
Favorite AEW people.
But it's just kind of like
One of them.
To me, it is beyond ridiculous. I've read articles. I've seen the Meltzer star rating. And so many people are so biased that they said the Okada Pac match was better than Roman versus Cody.
Oh, that's silly.
That's just silly. One of these articles put their top 10 April matches, and they didn't even put Roman against Cody in the top 10. But of course, Ospreay Danielson was number one. Whoever that was following Dave Meltzer's philosophies.
Sure, and I'm sure they put on a great spot fest. I haven't seen it yet. My plan is to go on and find it somewhere on YouTube and watch that one. And look, I'll watch Pac Okada.
Yeah.
It was a good match, but
it wasn't as good as Roman versus Cody. I mean,
it was good, but not real good, like many other matches.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll take your word for it. I'm gonna watch it at some point. To me, it's like when I watch a match, I want to know, am I invested in the story, and is the moveset of the match going to be enough to keep my attention?
Right.
Because I was looking at it you got to do something to draw me in. You got to make me care about the two characters, and then you've got to make me be interested in the moves.
Right.
And if you can capture all three of those, then you've got a great match. And honestly, if you really capture and nail all three of them, what you have is Cody versus Roman. That's what you have when you put all three of those together.
That you do.
According to you,
Yeah.
if you put all three of those together, do you think Ospreay and Danielson was one of those?
He hasn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet, so I don't want to make judgment on that.
Right.
But look, based on what I've heard everybody say and what I've read, it certainly was a great match.
Definitely.
It was.
And especially without having seen it, I wouldn't want to say anything to disrespect the match.
Right.
But to sit there and say that one of the mid card matches on AEW,
it was the opening match on the pay per view.
What?
Okada versus Pac was the opening match.
No.
Oh, it was the opening match. Okay. So they're saying the match
was the pre-show. Right, yeah.
The match of Jerk the Curtain was better than the main event of WrestleMania. Okay.
Yeah.
But when you start with that argument, you're just gonna I can't
lose.
Seriously.
Right.
I feel like our understanding of what pro wrestling is and what it isn't, you're just anti WWE. And then look, if that's your opinion, you're entitled to it.
Right.
But
stink.
Don't try come out here and tell me you're an unbiased reporter and saying, "Oh, in my unbiased opinion, this match was better than Cody versus Roman."
Right.
Stop it. You probably didn't even watch Cody versus Roman, or if you did, you watched it with a cynical eye. And to me, you're not enjoying the product. You're not doing what this product is meant to do, and that's enjoy it.
Right. To be entertained.
Yes.
Did Dusty and Ultimate Warrior ever go one-on-one?
No, they were
both. Yeah, they were both good guys, and Dusty wasn't in the company long enough for either of them to turn heel.
Right, and
it would have been a great match.
And the Warrior was on cloud 9 at that point.
Yeah, and I've heard some things about the Ultimate Warrior that he was a bit of a JO to work with.
He was a bit of he was difficult to work with. Many people have said yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was good to work with.
No.
How about Hogan versus Dusty?
I don't think they ever had a match.
That would be a good one, too.
At least not in
WWF.
Yeah.
I think they might have had one when Hogan was young in one of the
Florida or something, yeah.
Yeah, they might have had a match there, but nothing to bring us home.
Yeah. That would have been a good dream match. In fact, one of the rumors I heard, I'm trying to think of when it was that they were trying to do this, maybe 93, it had to have been 92, 93. That WWE wanted to bring in Dustin Rhodes and have him work with Hulk Hogan. And Hulk was just like, well, no, I'm not necessarily interested in that. I'd be interested in working with Dusty.
Right.
But not Dustin. And I thought that was interesting. I thought it was interesting that Dustin was even on their radar at that point.
I can see that.
Well, I mean, Dustin was he was young and raw in that 91, 92, 93 era. But I mean, by 94 and 95, he was an established star.
Yeah.
So it is.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, now he's a legend, and it would have been such a great icing on the cake if the WWE and AEW had worked something out and had Dustin come be a part of the Hall of Fame or something. You know. It's a shame. I feel like that is one of those things where, and I've heard that Bruce Pritchard was working in TNA when they wanted to induct the Four Horsemen, and Ric Flair was working in TNA. And so, they called up TNA and hey, what can you do? And Bruce was somebody in WWE called Bruce Pritchard, who was, of course, working at TNA, and was just like, hey, what can you how would this work out? And right away, when Bruce goes to them and says, hey, look, they could give us some cash. They could buy his rights for the night. They could pay his fee to you as well as to him. Like, he had all these ideas, and one of the last things he said is, or we could do some kind of talent exchange for a couple nights. You could get a couple shots with somebody.
Right.
And and Bruce is thinking, well, if they're going to do the talent exchange, why not at least ask, shoot your shot for like John Cena and Randy Orton, somebody like that. Of course, WWE is going to say no, but you can see who they might counter with.
Right.
But Dixie Carter right away goes, "Ooh, do you think we can get Christian Cage for a night or two?" And Bruce, yeah, you could probably get his contract if you wanted it that bad.
Exactly.
But it was that was a funny story. I remember hearing Bruce talk about the like Dixie Carter going gaga over wanting to bring in Christian for a couple shots.
Right. And she was able to do that when he was in AEW.
AEW, yeah.
Well, Impact was. She's long been.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's long gone from TNA. Thank God.
For good reasons.
Do you think when Christian's not heel and when Adam Copeland turns heel, do you think Christian Cage and Adam Copeland are going to be a tag team?
I would think before one of their contracts expires, they'll at least do like a one-off tag match thing or something.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking, but sometimes it's hard to predict. But
look, I mean, with Christian losing that match to Adam Copeland for the TNT Championship, I think once maybe you get the belt off of Adam, maybe if Malachi Black beats him for the championship,
he did
maybe then you could start because you haven't done anything with Christian since he lost that match.
Yep.
So maybe you bring him back after that, and it's they'd have their Mia Copa moment, and
they go
Battle Royal for the title with Adam Copeland. Some real good story comes from WWE, different company, or somebody that's good at the company, AEW, that doesn't have a title, takes the title in the Battle Royal.
Well, no, they're not going to do a Battle Royal for the title. They'll do something. Edge or Adam Copeland will lose it in a one-on-one match.
Yeah, he'll drop it to whether it be Malachi Black or somebody like that.
Right. Oh my.
Yeah.
Live update. Speaking of Christian Cage, he is the #1 contender for Sir Swerve Strickland at Double or Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Big predictions?
No, that's not for a while. So
yeah, we don't have to predict that just yet.
All right. So I'm wondering how that happened. It'll keep me interested to watch the opening half hour of Dynamite to see how they built this up.
Maybe Nick Wayne might turn on Christian?
Perhaps.
Cause him
or maybe they make Christian a face during this run.
You could.
Because Swerve is kind of... They try to make him a face, but is he... Against Joe, but it seems like he's not gaining the momentum as a face.
No, he's really not. And although I don't think he was booked right.
No.
How do you have your AEW champion, your brand spanking new AEW champion, kick off the show in a match against Kyle Fletcher in a contenders match? No build to that match at all. Just go out there, work your match. But yet you have you have a couple other titles celebrated during the night, including the TBS championship.
Right.
celebration with Willow, but you don't let Swerve, the guy who's supposed to be the top guy now in your company, you don't have him celebrated that night.
Right. It made no sense to me.
No.
But then, because we got to get the Mercedes Moné Willow Nightingale match kicked off,
and I'm not interested in that, and it's a shame because I really like Willow. I think she's fantastic. I think she's got a great character. Yeah, her whole presentation, I think, is fantastic. Right.
I love her, Chris and Stokely.
Yeah,
that's a great dynamic they have with the three of them. But why squander it on Mercedes Moné?
Yeah, I don't understand it either.
They should have done Mercedes Moné versus Julia Hart. That would have made some.
They should have had Sky Blue challenge Willow first, I think.
Yeah, let her have a big championship defense.
Right.
And then get to Moné and Willow.
Right.
But they want to get to them for Double or Nothing. And I mean, I get it. Like, that's their big blow off. I mean, but they do have this event in Wembley in August that's supposed to be kind of a big deal.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that?
Mm-hmm.
The first one, they fudged the attendance numbers, but no one's really condemning them for that. Yet they condemn WWE for fudging attendance numbers.
That's because, what's his name? Dave Meltzer loves AEW because they're not WWE.
Yeah. And because the Buckaroos named the move after him.
Well, yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. He's got his heart on for the Young Bucks.
That he does.
But so one of the other things we haven't talked about much tonight, although I of course have talked about this subject a great deal on our shows, but the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. What a fun thing that was on Monday. I enjoyed her match with Nia. Despite the really kind of botched ending to the match. It was kind of sloppy, but
yeah.
I kind of like when matches, like, they don't look too smooth. Like, it's supposed to be a physical fight. Like,
right.
It shouldn't look very choreographed and staged.
Right.
So, like,
you must love Nia Jax matches then.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, but I don't know that I like them that clunky and misconstrued. And it's funny because I think Liv Morgan matches are typically very smooth, and almost I think that's part of the knock on her is that it's too smooth to where it doesn't look realistic.
Right.
And then when I was curious as to how she would work with Nia Jax, and I thought, well, which style is going to win out? The sloppy, clunky style or the absolutely smooth as hell style of Liv Morgan's? Well, unfortunately, Nia Jax's style seemed to work out at the end there, even though Liv got the win. Oh, that was... And the thing is, the whole match, I thought, man, this match is going really good. Like, Liv's really making Nia look good, but making sure to keep herself looking good, too.
Right.
And then that ending. Whew, that was sloppy.
I forget what the ending was like. What happened?
So, basically, Nia didn't get in the right position for Liv to deliver the nice sequence of moves as smoothly as they could have been that led into the Oblivion. And so it looked like, okay, clearly Liv's setting up for the Oblivion and had to wait for Nia to get in the right position to take it.
Right.
So it just didn't come across very well.
Yeah, it wasn't meshing.
No. And that was one of those, everybody, take this time. What is it, 28 minutes almost. I'm going to say something good about the draft. We don't have to watch Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax anymore because they're all different brands. Nia can go torture the poor women on SmackDown.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Friday nights are going to be a great time at the old ER.
Because, the SmackDown women's roster after this draft really isn't that deep either.
No,
because it's Bailey.
No, because Damage Control went to Raw.
Right. It's Bailey, Nia, Naomi, Tiffy, Chelsea, and Piper that I can remember.
And Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill, Bianca, and Blair Davenport is going.
Yeah.
To spice it up from NXT.
Yeah, I like the people from NXT that got drafted.
Like, and they drag it off. He deserves it.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well earned up to there.
Yeah, and Braun earned his.
Right.
Earned up to it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they're going to do with those guys on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah, it should be interesting.
And, they made a big deal. They said several times the draft goes into effect on Monday, which means, I guess, everybody's going to be available for SmackDown this Friday.
I guess.
France. And I guess that's taped because they're airing it at its usual time slot.
Right. And then 1:00 Saturday is Backlash.
Yeah.
Yes. Which we have to do predictions for.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's get right into it. Let's do some predicting.
All right. So, first match listed is Cody against AJ.
Let's go, AJ. It's going to be Cody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of us are going to disagree. It's going to be Cody.
Yeah, that's Cody because, this is his first title defense. And it's no coincidence AJ was the first title defense for Seth Rollins when he won the Universal Championship.
He defended it with Carmelo Hayes.
No, that was a non-title.
Yeah, it was non-title.
Yeah,
and it's a premium live. Even if it was a title defense, this is his first premium live title defense.
Yeah. And then we have Damian Priest against Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title.
I know they're waiting for Drew to get it. I don't care if I lose a point. This is my thing. Judgment Day is going to get involved. Jay's going to come out. I mean, Jimmy.
Jimmy, okay.
Take out the Judgment Day, but he's still going to get messed up. But maybe there's this twist. I think Jay's going to win. They need to.
Ooh. No, that's a viable take.
Right.
You could set up the Usos versus Judgment Day during the course of this year. I think that makes a ton of sense.
Yeah,
I'm not predicting it, but it makes your prediction does make sense.
Yes. So you're going with Damian Priest?
Yes.
Jay.
Oh, Jay. All right, I'll fix it. Well, we know who. And I'm going to go Priest as well. I think it's his first title defense.
Yeah, for the same reasons that we said Cody.
And the other thing is, I think they're waiting for Drew to take the title off of Damian.
Yeah, and I think that's happening at Clash of the Castle in Scotland.
If they don't give the belt to Drew McIntyre in Scotland, there's something wrong with people.
Seriously, give him that belt, and he's got to take it to SummerSlam against Punk.
I think it's too predictable.
And I got my Drew shirt on.
Oh, nice.
Because we're talking about it.
Wait.
Which I will wear for Clash at the Castle.
CM Punk's good.
Nice.
CM Punk's going to be good at until SummerSlam?
Well,
I would imagine he'll probably be back by SummerSlam.
You're still going to be bad.
Yes.
He's going to be, because it's his hometown.
Right, and it's going to be against another heel, so it'll be okay that they're cheering him.
Exactly. That's why he's going to be the face in Scotland.
Right.
He's going back home to win the title.
Wait, SummerSlam?
No,
Scotland.
I meant to say CM Punk's going to be ready to fight at SummerSlam.
Yes. You're right.
Yay.
In Cleveland, Ohio.
Down in Ohio.
Swag like Ohio, you'd like to say.
Oh, boy.
And then we got the women's triple threat match between Bailey, Naomi, and Tiffy.
Not going to be Naomi. I think it's probably going to be Bailey.
Yeah, I think this is another retention. I don't know that we're getting any title changes at Backlash.
I think we're getting one.
Okay.
I think we're getting one. All right, so we're all picking Bailey.
Yeah.
Next match on the card is the Kabuki Warriors defending against Bianca and Jade.
Oh, Bianca and Jade.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that might be our one title change.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think you might be onto something there.
Yeah, I'm going Bianca and Jade.
What I like about that is if they win the tag titles, they can go and wrestle on either brand then.
Right. Which I think would be good for either brand.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So we're all going Belair and Jade. Watch out, Sean. You got me all messed up here. And then the other one we have is the Bloodline, the new Bloodline.
Yeah.
Against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens.
Kevin and Randy.
You're going Kevin and Randy?
I'm going to go new Bloodline. It's their first outing together. And I think this could be a spot where maybe even turn Randy heel after the match or something. Maybe he turns on Kevin.
Okay. And I think I'm going to go with the Bloodline as well. Because I'm thinking we know he's signed. Jacob Fatu has to debut soon.
Yeah. This would be a good spot for him.
And I'm thinking it might be one of those Kevin and Randy have the momentum. They're about ready to win. And then, poof, Jacob comes out and helps Bolo and Tama win. And then they all do the finger thing that we've gotten used to.
Yeah.
Paul Heyman looks even more bewildered. Like, what is going on here? What are we going to do?
So, Solo has made reference a couple of times, and a lot of people I think have said maybe he's referencing himself as the tribal chief, or is he instead maybe referencing The Rock as the tribal chief?
I don't know.
I think it's The Rock because I think The Rock's going to end up coming back with them when he faces. I'm assuming he's going to face Cody at SummerSlam. And that's when we get Cody beating The Rock at SummerSlam. I think with Roman coming out to cost The Rock the match.
Now that would be awesome. I'm not going to lie. I would enjoy that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that like we get some kind of like where The Rock is like, oh, it's going to be bloodline rules, and much like WrestleMania, we get a lot of run-ins.
Mankind.
You really want to Mick Foley run in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. But so anyway, my ending comes out where Roman comes out there, and you're thinking, oh, he's going to come out and help The Rock win the championship from Cody. But instead, he spears The Rock and does this whole, I'm the tribal chief. You don't take that spot from me.
And then we go to work.
Yes.
Right.
And then that leads us into Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania.
And that
what's that?
That could be finally happening next to WrestleMania.
Not the main event.
Yeah. And see, all those people there were so many people who bitched about the fact that, oh no, we already got the Roman versus Cody match last year. Let us have our Roman versus The Rock. We've been waiting for 3. Relax. You're going to have your moment. You needed to first get The Rock back in the fold and then have your build to that match.
Right. And
this way it at least makes sense.
And you don't need the title in that match.
No. Eric, I saw your shirt. I like it.
Thank you. AXW. That's right. Love those guys at AXW. I was really upset I wasn't able to go this past weekend. I know you weren't either.
No.
He's rude. He didn't take me.
Yeah.
I had a card show. Oh, well.
And then let me get medieval behind me.
So sad.
Like,
Okay.
Where
But
did
yeah.
you learn that from?
nice.
Oh, God.
Weird Al Yankovic.
Weird Al Yankovic taught my son things that we shouldn't.
I was going to say, Weird Al Yankovic also taught us things that we shouldn't have learned.
Correct. It's one of those things in life.
Yeah. It's the circle of life.
That it is.
All right. So I guess that's the card for Backlash. Short.
Only 5 matches.
Yeah. And I dig it. Like, I feel like that's more the model of the original NXT takeover cards.
Right.
Where it was 5 matches, but every match had meaning. Every match was impactful.
Yeah.
It had sizzle to it.
Right. Unlike some of these Vince McMahon pay-per-views we had where it was just throw stuff together and hope it sticks.
Let me go to sleep.
Yeah, we're about to go home, bud. So I think it's funny. You mentioned last week the idea of the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour lasting all the way till WrestleMania, getting her away from the championship for a bit. And I remember I speculated that Nia Jax could be that person that plays the Brock Lesnar type role in that relationship. And
I drafted.
Yeah, so Nia's now on SmackDown. I wonder, so if they did something where maybe Liv gets into a triple threat or something for a championship match, and maybe they have a run in at the premium live show in the backstage area, and Nia comes out, interferes, costs Liv Morgan the championship. And then all of a sudden, Liv does all these antics of getting involved in Nia Jax matches on SmackDown to build towards, okay, Aldis and Pierce have to let them have a match at another premium live show.
You know who I want Liv to have a feud with?
Who?
Now that she's been drafted, give me Liv Morgan, Kiana James feud.
Absolutely. Sign me up.
To keep Liv away from the title picture.
Yes, I agree.
That could go on for some months. And then then maybe Mommy will be back by then.
Oh, yeah.
Get the title back. And then Liv and Becky duel it out to see who gets to go against Rhea.
Yes.
Get injured when she was exercising.
They don't know if it happened during the backstage attack or the match at WrestleMania.
Yeah. They're speculating it was one of the 2 occasions.
Right. We just know Rhea got injured and we want a speedy recovery so she can get back to entertaining.
Because I think that the Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan rivalry that I'm hoping gets to have a big time match at WrestleMania 41.
It should.
Yeah, I will be championing that cause. I will already be screaming for it to main event one of the 2 nights of WrestleMania.
I can hear it now. You'll be main event Saturday, Liv, Rhea, main event Sunday, Rock, Roman. We can hear it already.
I was going to say, you don't even need to listen, although you should always listen to our show. But
I'll tell you, on May 1st, this is what Eric is going to be talking about next WrestleMania season.
Oh, yeah. When we get to February and March, you can best believe I will be pounding the table for Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley to headline night 1 of WrestleMania.
What day's Backlash?
Saturday.
Backlash is Saturday on May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
All of our Star Wars fans, may the 4th be with you.
May.
You guys are all nerds.
Absolutely. We're wrestling fans, so of course we're nerds.
The peanut gallery in the back tonight.
Gotta love the peanut gallery tonight. Thanks,
Yes.
everybody, for joining us a little bit later this week. We'll be doing this every week from here on out. Probably be about 8 o'clock shows. But, yeah, Mike, anything to add before we get out of here?
No, I think we've had a stellar late night show for us.
I think we did. I think it's about bedtime for me.
Right.
4:15 comes awfully early.
That it does.
Yeah. So
I got one last thing.
yeah, go ahead.
What's your one last
It
thing?
is Dragunov going
To Raw. To mention that, but you said you're very excited for it.
No, we didn't talk about it.
Yeah, we
that
did.
much.
Oh well,
Well, we did, but if you have another thought on it, go ahead.
I think he's gonna do something real big in that company.
I think you're right. I think he's got a bright future. I could see Ilya Dragunov, Cody Rhodes at some point for the WWE Championship.
now how about this for SummerSlam?
Yeah.
You talk about Drew versus Punk.
Yeah.
How about Drew versus Gunther versus Sheamus versus Ilya? Make it a 4-way. Just throw Ilya in that WrestleMania rematch. There's some food for thought.
Hey, I'd be good with it.
Yes.
When did Sheamus get drafted? Did he get drafted to SmackDown or to Raw?
I think he's still on Raw.
Okay, good. Which
Right.
means he'll get to contend for the Intercontinental Championship, a belt he's never won still.
Which I think he will win.
Definitely.
Right. They have to. They have to let him win the Grand Slam.
Yeah, Sheamus deserves it, man. The guy is literally given his body for the industry.
He has.
All right, everybody, that is it for us. You guys have a great night, and check out next week's episode where we'll be sure to tell you all about how Mike expanded the lead, and we're all still playing from behind. Although I think you and I basically chose the same results, didn't we?
Let me just double check that. Yeah, we have the exact same results.
No.
No, you're the one who's different with Jey
Ready?
Uso.
Look.
What? No, we're talking Backlash. You're looking at Dynasty. We're talking Backlash. We're talking Backlash.
I should just copy
Yeah.
off of him. That's my way to get the points up.
No, because you're not going to gain any ground.
You're not going to gain any ground. Now, double or nothing. Don't worry. It'll be a 12-match fiasco where you guys get points.
Yeah, it'll be 7 hours.
Right.
I can't get back from 20 behind you.
Right.
You can.
You can.
Hey, look, he found a way to create the 20-point gap. You can find a way to close it.
Exactly.
We're not even we're not even halfway there.
No, we're not.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, we still got till next January 4th.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a Wrestle Kingdom. I already can't wait for that. That's going to be on a Saturday this year.
That's going to be fun.
What's
Yes.
the kingdom?
Yes, we'll have to pick up some donuts and some coffee and hang out and watch Wrestle Kingdom.
It's a plan.
At our house?
Yes,
Sure.
we watched it together last year.
When?
You had to go to school.
Yeah.
You.
Hey, you got school. Sorry, kid.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you next week.
All right.
Wrestling, everybody.
Bye. Bye.